What's going on, chess lovers? This is Maurice Bishop Chess. Y'all know my slogan, life is a game of chess. I do have to start out and say God is good all the time and God is great. Alright guys, I have this nice beautiful game that I want to share with y'all. I played against a strong 2350. He actually blocked me and everything because I beat him. Which was kind of ridiculous, being a sore loser, but it's all good though. But I told him to look at my chess channel and all, but obviously he didn't want to hear all that. But anyway, I'm about to share you this game that I played. Alright, so the move goes as follow. Obviously he played as white, I played as black. He played d4, I played e5. And for all y'all that been watching my channel, y'all already know that I play the England gambit, or a lot of y'all call it the Dutch gambit. This is my style of play. D captures e5, d6 is played, and then he plays knight c3. So he doesn't accept the gambit or the second gambit right away, so he just tries to develop his piece. I develop with knight c6. And of course, guys, if he does take on d6, I'll go bishop captures d6. That's pretty much the whole point of it. He goes knight f3, and I go bishop g4. Now, you're probably wondering, like, what's this opening that I'm playing and everything? Yes, I know that it's either England gambit or Dutch gambit, but the whole point of this opening, for all y'all that don't know, I try to develop my minor pieces as fast as possible, get my queen typically on the queen e7, which is really the main priority, but sometimes I could go on queen d7 as well, which is normally where I go to, and then I'll castle queenside. So the main thing of this opening is to develop your pieces as fast as possible, and then castle queenside as fast as possible, and then start to attack as fast as possible. So that's pretty much my main three systems, or three steps to the system. Alright guys, so after bishop g4, he finally takes my pawn. I go bishop capture d6. As you see, I'm in lead of development right now because I have 3 minor pieces. He only has 2, right? So he hits me with bishop g5. I immediately go f6. I could have went queen d7, but I decided, you know, again, I would like to go queen e7 because I like facing my queen in front of the king. But also, I want to save this d file for the rook when I castle queenside. But right now, I am attacking the bishop right now, so that's what I'm doing. He goes bishop h4. I go queen e7. There is this little tricky trick that happens because I get a lot of people play knight d5 and I go queen e4. And normally when they see this move, they want to keep this knight, you know, I don't know, like they want to keep this knight on this d5 square. And normally I get a lot of people play, or a lot of my opponents play queen d3. But the trick with this is bishop captures f3. The whole point of this, because I took the defender away from f3, now the dark square bishop is under attack. And it doesn't matter what white does, because if he decides to take my queen, well, that's fine because I'm still hitting the knight. And of course, I'm up a piece, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, so that's one of those tricks. So I'm never really scared of knight d5. But anyway, my opponent goes bishop g3. Obviously, he must... I mean, it looks like he's aware of the opening or whatever. Maybe he just got a good understanding of what the opening's all about, I guess. Well, kind of, but you'll see what happens though. I castle queenside in this position, and that's pretty much what I did. So obviously I didn't care if he goes bishop captures, because then he just gives me the d file, which is what I'm liking anyway. If you look at his position, the king is still in the center of the board. The bishop is not developed yet, and you know, it seems like I have a small advantage in this opening right now. All right. He goes queen c1 to get out of the way of the rook d file, and of course of the discover attack with bishop captures g3. So that's why he moved his queen out the way. So I go bishop captures f3. Now notice here, he cannot take with the e pawn because the queen is pinning this pawn on e2. So he's actually forced to take back with the g pawn, right? So he takes with the g pawn. So now he got double pawns. But the whole point of this, guys, is Because the queen is pinning this pawn or whatever, I wanted to make this somewhat useful, and then to cause some havoc in his king side, especially because I want to take advantage of the king still being in the center of the board, and that's why I hit him with the move knight d4. The point with knight d4 is if he decides to do moves like, I don't know, maybe h4, then I get this nice beautiful move of knight captures f3 check, where of course he still cannot take due to the queen is pinning the pawn on e2, and of course the king cannot go d2 because of the knight is guarding that square. So obviously the only move that it would be king d1. And then of course, guys, I have this nice move bishop f4, where I am hitting the queen, and also the check is also right here. So as you can see, this is very very bad for white, as you can see. All right. So and then also there's another thing, guys, where I had this opening before, where I had my opponent come queen d2 and they still get hit with knight catches f3 check, where I'm still winning the queen. Or I had this where they try to block you know, or they try to move their queen in front of their king so that they can defend, but then they still fall for the knight capture c2 check, still hitting the queen as well. So knight d4 is definitely a tricky trick. You know what I mean? So I love the move knight d4. So, and that's pretty much what I did. I wanted to use the white's king weakness. I wanted to play on his weakness, and that's pretty much what I did. So of course, obviously my opponent saw it. He goes bishop g2 to prevent the knight captures f3, which is what he did. And then I decide to play bishop b4. The whole point of bishop b4 is if he decides to go somewhere like a3, then I hit him with the move checkmate. The knight cannot take due to the bishop is pinning this knight. So that's what I'm threatening. Alright. So that's why bishop b4 is here. So he does the move e3, hitting my knight, but I'm not really worried about the knight right now, because it's not like he could take my knight because the queen is still pinning this pawn. So I go knight h5, just developing. The whole point, what I want to do is I want to go knight f5. Alright, hitting this dark square bishop. My opponent castles kingside, and then I go knight e to f5, hitting this bishop on g3. He goes rook d1. I guess he just wants to trade off rooks, or pretty much fight for the d file, but yeah, it's just not going to work. So I just pretty much do the pawn storm with g5. He goes a3, and I go bishop c5. My whole threat with bishop c5 is, for instance, like if he decides to go, I don't know, h3, I have the threat of knight captures e3. Obviously, knight captures e3 probably would not work due to the rook e1, because he's pinning my knight, so it just wouldn't be as effective. So but that's something that I was looking at, but then I realized that it wouldn't work due to rook e1. All right, so b4 he goes, and then I go bishop b6, knight a4. Obviously he saw my dark square bishop as a real threat, which is why he was trying to get rid of this dark square bishop. So I decide to take his dark square bishop, and then hoping that he kind of like takes, and then I can hit him with the bishop e3 check, winning the queen. Obviously my opponent is a strong opponent, so obviously he sees that. So, but not saying that he has to take with this, because he could take with this pawn as well, so it wouldn't really matter. But anyway, after I took, he immediately took my dark square bishop. I take back. He takes on h captures g3, and then I go king b8. Just due to the fact, guys, it's a prophylactic move. I just want to get out of any checks. But also, when I go knight f5, I didn't want the light square bishop to pin my knight to the king that was on c8. So that's why I just moved my king to b8. Queen b2 was played. I played knight f5. And of course, I only play knight f5 because, of course, I got to put my knight where it's active. Y'all know the old rule where it says the knight on the rim is dim. So you can't keep your knight on the rim all the time, but at least not keep it there. You know what I mean? You want to keep your knight and just pieces in general to active squares. And of course, this is more flexible. I got knight d6. Might be times where I want to go h5, h4, and then maybe move my knight somewhere else. But obviously, it's way better than being on the rim. All right. My opponent goes c4. He's doing a pawn storm as well. I go h5. He goes f4, and I go h4. And the whole point of this, guys, is I just really just want to weaken. I just want to undermine. Really, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to undermine this e3 pawn. So I really want to take so he could take and then undermine this pawn here. My opponent actually took, but the thing is, y'all probably wondering, well, what happens if he just goes to g4? And I think my opponent actually spotted the move that he probably thought that I was going to do was probably this move h3. And the thing with h3 is very, very, how can I say it, guys? It's very not good for him on his part, though. Because the thing is, if you try to move your bishop back to h1, then you have these type of threats coming with h2. And then if you go king g2, of course, I have knight h4 check with a tempo. Obviously, you're not going to really want to take that pawn because then you just give me... I already have the h-file already. But it could be pretty dangerous if you do it. And then, of course, I'm already getting ready to take on the pawn on f4, where I can do some things here. So, yeah, so it's very, very dangerous. That's all I can tell. It's very dangerous to do that, which I think this is the reason why my opponent actually takes my pawn on g5. But it doesn't make the situation any better. So what I did is I just decided to actually just go h captures g3, hitting this pawn. But not only that, I wanted to get to the h file. I just wanted the h file as well. And then, like I told you before, I wanted to undermine this pawn on e3. My opponent did, of course, my attack is pretty becoming strong, which is why I'm pretty sure my opponent wanted to exchange queens. But of course, in this situation, when he did queen captures f6, this was automatic a loss in this situation because I go g captures f2 check, and then I think after this, that's when he realized like he's super lost. And of course, he pretty much resigned in his position. Now you probably wonder why he resigned his position, because it doesn't matter what he does, because if he decides to go king f1, then he'll definitely lose. He'll lose with the knight catches on e3, where I'm checking him and winning a rook. But also, yeah, it's just pretty bad, guys. Like very bad, because then I pretty much would just take off. It doesn't matter, and honestly, it doesn't matter like how he does it. If he decides to go king catches f2, he'll lose to the rook on f8, where he'll lose the queen. All right. Or he might do something like king e2, which is also pretty good. Obviously, I can't just take the rook or anything, because I'll lose my queen. So of course, in this situation, I literally would have to take the queen. Obviously, you don't want to take the rook, because then I'll just take back with the queen and my queen is saved. So he's kind of forced to actually take my queen with the pawn. And then I'll just hit him with the knight captures the rook. And of course, my pawn is still defended by the knight on e8, as you can see. And obviously, if he decides to take my knight and everything, well, this is pretty much lost after this. Because after this, this is over. King e2, rook catches f6, and, you know, I have a winning endgame here. Like, it's nothing that he could do in his position. And then you're probably thinking, like, what else? After knight captures e3, what else can he do? Nah, it's really nothing that he could do in his position at all. Yeah, there's literally nothing that he could do at all. I was also thinking about, what about this? If he takes with the bishop, then I do have this move as well. Yeah, even with this still kind of... I mean, he'll have to come here. But then again, it doesn't matter, because this loses too. That's a nasty checkmate. That is a nasty checkmate. Even if he comes here, it doesn't even matter, because of rook f8. That's also nasty as well. Yeah, literally, there's nothing that he can do. Like, he can't come in. He can't come here. He can't. Yeah, this is like totally losing. Now if he takes with this, which is also what I'm thinking about, if he would have took with this, yeah, it still doesn't matter because then he's just gonna have to take that. You gotta. It's funny part. You gotta take with the rook, and then I just take the knight. And again, I'm still winning in this position, so it's still crazy. So, but yeah, but this was pretty much the crazy opening, or this is my craziness opening. I ain't gonna say the craziest well, yeah, technically I take that back. This will be my crazy opening, but it's my opening. It's the opening that I play all the time, as you just saw here. It's very tactical, and you got to be a strong attacker and know what you're doing. All right, but anyway, guys, I hope you actually enjoy this video. You know, again, guys, I will be bringing more content and everything, so I definitely hope y'all enjoy. If y'all have any other questions regarding the games that y'all play, or any openings that you want me to do a video of, make sure you drop that comment below and type in what you want to know. Even in my community page, where I know a lot of y'all probably don't be on there, but definitely be on there, because I do check out those comment boxes in the community page. So definitely make sure, guys, that y'all comment exactly what y'all want to know, what y'all want to learn, and then I'll keep dropping content. I know on my YouTube page y'all see a lot of my my YouTube shorts and everything, so I'm always posting my YouTube shorts and everything. And if it's any YouTube shorts that y'all see in my YouTube channel that you want me to actually do a whole full-blown video on, then also, guys, let me know. Girls and gals, let me know exactly what videos that y'all want me to do, or let me know what shorts, or not even just the shorts, just any chess video that y'all want me to do it on, and I'll do a video on. All right, till then, I'll see y'all next time. All right, guys, peace.